Jameis Winston shotgun formation. Carlos Williams flanks him left sidecar. Here's the snap. Inside play action fake. Winston throws the end zone. It is caught! Touchdown FSU, Rashad Green. And the Noles lead for the first time of the game today with 3:24 to go.
Oh, welcome back to the Jimbo Fisher College. That is the Naples Infinity drive of the game, capped with that 4-yard pass to Rashad Green. It finalized a two-play, very quick drive after a huge turnover. We talked about the two freshmen collaborating, Pugh and Featherstone, taking the ball away from Jacoby Brissett. And that touchdown, it took us just 27 seconds, gave us our first lead of the game late in the third quarter. That brought to you by Napleton Infinity of Tallahassee. And we thank Napleton Infinity for sponsoring that drive of the week. And Coach, speaking of drives of the week, how about Rashad Green? With that game now, he needs 7 pass receptions, and that's sort of an average day at the office for Rashad. But, if he gets 7, he goes beyond Ron Sellers in career catches. That's an incredible stat.
It really is. When you think of all the great receivers that have ever played here, and what's amazing, that Ron has held that record so long.
Yes,
everybody talks about all the guys that played recently, but Ron to hold that record back when you didn't throw the ball. Florida State did, but not like they do now. It's been amazing. He was one heck of a player, and there's been some unbelievable players between. And, Rashad, we mentioned that in that category of players. I know he's very proud, but he earns it now. That guy's he's a heck of a player and a heck of a young man.
All right, let's get back to You've been signing a lot of autographs during the commercial breaks. You getting a little writer's cramp?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
Let's go back to the phones and talk to Bill from Tampa. Go ahead, Bill. You're on the air with Jimbo.
Good evening, Coach and Gene. Congratulations on the win Saturday against North Carolina State. Good luck Saturday against Wake Forest. Two questions for you. Last week, you talked a little bit about the offensive line, and they've been playing somewhat out of sync. Given that performance that they had in the second half against North Carolina State, how much closer did they move towards your goal of how you want them to play this season? And secondly, talking about Featherston and Pugh, did they earn much more playing time because of that performance Saturday?
To answer the last question, no doubt. We've been wanting to get that in there, and then you put them in there, and then they took off. It was good. But our O-line really did play well that second half. We ran for 150-some yards in the second half alone. They pass pro. Early in the game we had some pass protection issues. They cleaned those up, and just getting in sync. And sometimes even people don't realize it. Think of pro players sometimes that are superstars. All of a sudden they come back the next year and they just start cold. Whatever it is, and then all of a sudden they take off. It doesn't matter how much experience you have. You want the guys to play great all the time, but sometimes you got to get back in the rhythm and groove of the playing. And even though Barron's a new guy in there and they're getting used to each other, and you got new backs, you got a few new players out there, but now all of a sudden you're starting to see them. I see them in practice and getting into that groove, because that's going to be the key is the offensive and defensive lines and making us get that improvement.
Didn't Trey Jackson have a particularly good game for the offensive line?
Trey did, and Austin Barron did. Trey was the ACC lineman of the week, but he wasn't our lineman of the week. Austin Barron was. He was honorable mention. Austin Barron played a tremendous game for us in that game, too.
Okay, Bill, thanks for your two-part question. That opens up a line 1-877-99-NOLES. Also, hashtag Jimbo, or press the Ask the Coach button on Seminoles.com. Crawdad's daughter, Jenna, from Huntsville. Is Crawdad under the weather, Jenna? Tell us what the story is.
Hey, Coach and Gene.
Hey, Jenna, how are you?
I'm good. This is Crawdad's daughter. Last week, my dad talked to you about installing a defibrillator in our house. Well, I had the paddles ready a couple times in the first quarter last Saturday. Here's my dad.
Even in the second half.
Hey, Coach, it's Crawdad. She's been dying to talk to you.
I got you. I enjoyed it.
And I just want to quickly say thank you to you for showing the class and dignity that you display as our head coach. Noel Nation is behind you 110%. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you very much, Crawdad.
Yeah. Jenna and Crawdad from Huntsville, and the conversation, Coach, about showing class and dignity. And by golly, you represent Florida State as well as anybody on this planet. I promise you that. Thanks for pointing that out, Crawdad. You are the man in Huntsville. Phil from Beachton is next. Go ahead, Phil. You're on the air.
Hey, guys. Great win. Absolutely great win. And it was also great listening to Gene on the radio with the TV muted.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Jake Gaither, former coach of FAMU, said many times he wanted his defensive players, especially the defensive line, to be agile, mobile, and hostile. We've heard that lots of times. So, the question is about tackling. I know it's more complicated than I can talk about, but it seems like we've got to be strong enough and understand fundamentals and have the attitude to tackle. I'm sure we're strong enough, and I'm sure you wouldn't recruit anybody that doesn't know how to tackle. But the how to tackle changes, I think. Open field, angles, close quarters.
Without a doubt.
Who you're tackling. Just talk a little bit about the fundamentals related to that. And also, do we have the attitude, the hostility to get the man to the ground?
It's funny. We did the week before against Clemson. I mean, we had 7 missed tackles in the whole game, practiced really well. But when you deal with some young guys sometimes, they don't understand the urgency to do it over. The thing in sports that makes it so hard is you can't do it once, you can't do it twice, you got to do it over and over, and you can't get bored with fundamentals. You can't get bored doing things right. They have to become habits. And you're right about process, and I call it processing information. I'm out in space by myself. Am I going for a big hit, or I got to get my hands on him and get on the ground? I got to step on his toes. I got to hit on the rise, but I got to play the side. When I got a sideline to help me, I got to do that. Where are my defenders? Where my help is? And you got to close space. And also, play recognition allows you to get to spots a lot quicker and put yourself in position to tackle. But in the end of the day, what you said about attitude, that's what it gets down to. You got to have an attitude. I'm gonna get the guy on the ground. I'm gonna be physical. I'm gonna wrap up. I'm gonna do the things I got to do, and I got to do it every play. And if I don't need to play, because that's what sports is. It's not about doing it once. It's not about twice. Doing it over and over and over and over and over until you're not bored doing it and liking the physical contact. We got a lot of it this week.
All right, Phil from Beachton. There is your. We got a lot of that this week. You got a good reaction. I think the studio audience said, "Whoa, yeah!" They can't. Kickoff's at 3:30 now. Kickoff's at 3:30 Saturday. Hey, Knowles fans, register online at KnowlesContest.com for the chance to be the official photographer of the game. Winners get pregame hospitality, game tickets, and more. This exclusive opportunity brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. Get the membership advantage. The Jimbo Fisher Call-In Show, presented by Napleton Infinity, live from the 4 Points by Sheridan, will continue after these messages.